Most people quit praying after a few months. Some quit after a few years. But one man prayed the same prayer for 38 years. And when the answer finally came, he realized something shocking. The miracle had never been missing. He just didn't recognize it. Long ago, in a small town where everybody knew each other, there lived a man named Boto. Boto was not a bad man. That is the first thing you need to know. He was not lazy. He was not cruel. He was not foolish. He was just a simple, ordinary man. The kind of man you pass on the street and do not think twice about. He worked at the grain mill. He ate simple food. He slept in a small house with one window that faced the morning sun. And every morning, without fail, Boto prayed. Boto had one prayer. Just one. He had carried it since he was young, since the day his father lost the family land to debt and his family broke apart. His prayer was this: let me fix what was broken. Let me bring my family back. Let me rebuild what my father could not keep. Simple words, honest words, the kind of prayer that comes from deep inside, not just from the lips. He prayed it at sunrise. He prayed it before sleep. He prayed it on good days and on hard days, for years, for decades, and nothing came. His neighbor, a cheerful woman named Tali, used to say to him, "Boto, you look like a man waiting for rain in a dry desert." He would smile and say, "Maybe one day the desert will flood." She would laugh. He would not. 10 years passed. Boto kept praying. What Boto did not know was that his prayer had already started working. He wrote letters to his brothers who had gone far away. Most did not write back. One did, his youngest brother Kono, who had gone east and built a new life there. They wrote to each other twice a year. 20 years passed. Boto was no longer young. His hands were rough from work. The one window in his house still faced east, and he still watched the sunrise every morning before he prayed. He had grown so used to waiting that it no longer felt like waiting. It just felt like his life. Some people in town felt sorry for him. Poor Boto, they would say. No wife, no wealth, just that small house and that mill. He heard them. He said nothing. 30 years. Then one year, a year Boto would never forget, though nothing big announced its arrival. 3 quiet things happened. First, the mill owner died and left the mill through an old forgotten contract, partly to Boto, not fully, but partly, enough to matter. Second, his brother Kono wrote a letter that was different from all the others. His wife had died. His children were grown and gone. He wrote, "Brother, I am tired of the East. I am thinking of coming home." Third, a young woman came to Boto's door, the daughter of a cousin he had almost forgotten. Her family had fallen on hard times, and she needed work. She sat at his table, nervous and quiet, and said, "I heard you are a good man. I do not need much, just a fair chance." Boto looked at her for a moment. He thought of his father. He thought of his broken family. He thought of 30 years of the same prayer. Then he said, "There is room here. You can stay." It took 8 more years. 8 more years of small steps and quiet effort and letters back and forth. 8 years of Kono coming home. 8 years of the mill slowly growing. 8 years of the young woman whose name was Rima becoming like a daughter to Boto. 8 years of one cousin finding another and old family names slowly coming back together. By the time Boto was an old man, they came for the harvest festival. Not all of them, but enough. Enough faces that carried his father's eyes and his grandmother's laugh. Enough people that the table had to be moved outside to fit everyone. Rima's children ran and played in the yard. Kono sat beside Boto and said, "Brother, I almost did not write that letter." "I know," said Boto. "What made you keep going all those years?" Boto thought for a while. The sun was going down. It looked the same as it always had. "I do not think I was waiting," he finally said. "I think I was just living, and somehow that was enough. Now, here is what I want you to hold in your heart, because this story is not just about patience being rewarded. Life is not so simple as that." Boto prayed for his family to come back together. And it happened. But not the way he imagined when he was young and hurting. It did not happen on one great morning. It was not loud or sudden. It came slowly, in small pieces, wearing the clothes of ordinary life, an old contract, a lonely brother, a young woman who just needed a chance. The prayer was answered, but the answer looked like everyday life. Not every prayer is answered in a moment. Some are answered across a lifetime. Boto prayed for one big miracle, but God sent small steps, an old contract, a letter from a lonely brother, a young woman at the door. Each one looked ordinary. Together, they were the answer. This is the lesson. While you are waiting for God to move, keep moving yourself. Work with what you have. Say yes to small opportunities. Stay faithful in quiet, unseen moments, because most of the time, the answer to your prayer does not fall from the sky. It walks through your front door, disguised as everyday life. And if you are not paying attention, if you are only looking up and never looking around, you will miss it. Boto waited 38 years, but he was never just waiting. He was working, writing, giving, showing up. And one day he looked around the table, full of family, and understood the answer had been arriving all along. He just had to keep living long enough to receive it. Do not despise small beginnings. Do not give up in the middle. What looks like silence from above may be movement all around you. If this story meant something to you, take a moment to like the video.